All right. Hello, everyone. Good evening and welcome to my YouTube channel, The Best Loser. And it's time for me to do the weekend Forex forecast for the upcoming week. As you guys know, actually, the market is going to be closing in the next 30 minutes. All right. And I don't expect much changes in the current price action. So I think it's safe for us to proceed. As usual, I usually proceed by, taking a look at the economical calendar to see what we have in store for the upcoming week. All right. Okay, so now taking a look at the economical calendar for next week, you can see we're obviously kicking things off with a bank holiday in Japan, all right, on Sunday. And then we do have, obviously, because the government is slowly, opening back, we have data coming out from the United States axis now. We have PPI, retail sales, and so on and so forth coming out 8:30 Eastern on Tuesday. And we do have CPI data, all right, CPI data coming out from Australian axis, and obviously this is going to be another high impact news here. Okay, you have the interest rate decision, all right, coming off of the New Zealand axis, 8 p.m. Eastern, all right, and again we are expecting a change, okay, in 25 basis points. So that's obviously a news to be aware of if you're trading the New Zealand crosses, okay. All right. Going further on Tuesday as well. Actually, on Wednesday we do have unemployment claims. All right, on the calendar from the United States axis. That's another high impact news. We have a tentative data. All right, GDP data coming from the United States axis as well. All right, and obviously on Thursday is the bank holiday in the US. Okay, it's gonna be Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone who is celebrating. And on Friday, obviously, that's the Black Friday, okay? So, yeah, not really much going on here. We do have GDP data coming from the Canadian axis, okay, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. That's pretty much it from, the economical calendar. So, again, without any further delays, let's go into the charts and see what we have from a technical perspective, okay? All right, so looking at Dixie right now, for this particular week, you can see as anticipated, we did get a very nice bullish week, okay? Honestly, there was really no change in what we have anticipated. I told you guys that I'm keeping an eye, 9900 to hold, 9900 held, and you can see from there, the markets definitely slowly but surely gave us a push towards the previous swing high area, all right, and we have pretty much retested that level, and right now you can see that the market is kind of hesitating at this particular point, okay. So yeah, really nice week. Now, going into next week, what would I like to see? Well, we obviously have that area now as an area of resistance on our charts, okay? So going into next week, let's say from the 4 hours time frame, you can see price got to that level, and from there the bears came into the markets for a little bit, okay? And we retested 100 institutional price level. The markets bounced off from there, but again, we're still failing to make a new high, all right? So that's something to keep an eye on. That area is becoming a significant area of resistance on our charts, okay? Personally, from what I'm seeing here, we almost have a demand zone area, right? Not the strongest, okay, but we do have some form of demand zone in here, and you can see the market is already reacting from that particular demand zone area. So, it's very, very possible. Okay, what's looking most likely right now is for the markets to give us, maybe a dip into this demand zone and then another attack, all right, to the upside towards this level of structure that we have here. Best case scenario, my own opinion, would be for the markets to give us that push and break above it, all right, so that at that point, any pullbacks into this particular area, if we have demand zones that have formed on our charts, that would be a nice opportunity to start searching for long opportunities for further continuations to the upside, okay? This is going to be more or less my preferred course of action, okay? But right now, again, you got to look at both options, okay? Because the markets can easily dip into this particular demand zone now, and maybe from here we start getting a break to the downside, probably taking off this trend line, all right, that we have in this area. And then if that is the case, then at this point, 100 institutional price level might now be a resistance from where the markets might start shooting again back to the downside, right? This is something to keep an eye on, all right? But again, personally, I prefer to be bullish all right, as long as we are not breaking levels of demand, all right, to the downside. I prefer bullish. Okay, so let's see my preferred course of action. Again, this is just my preferred course of action. I am not the markets. Okay, let's make that clear. My preferred course of action will be a dip into this demand zone, and from there I want to see the bulls come into this market for another swing to the upside. All right, that's pretty much it for the Dixie. Next up is going to be Euro US dollar. Now, Euro US dollar right now, obviously, again, just like Dixie is performing as anticipated. All right, if we take a look obviously at the daily charts, 1 second, if we take a look at the daily charts, well, this pair behaved to perfection. If you guys remember, I told you guys in the last weekly forex forecast that I would like to see the markets give me a bounce off of this supply zone that we have. Obviously, the supply zone was formed as a result of the break of this level of structure that we have here to the downside, okay, creating that supply zone in the process. So the markets dipped into that supply zone area. I went short, actually, I think it was Friday last week, right around that 1630 area. That was something that I called in the Discord channel. All right, in my newly created Discord channel. And actually, this is a good time to talk about that Discord channel. Give me 1 second. Let me clean up my charts. All right, so yes, if you pay attention here on the Discord channel, I had actually called that trade right here. Yep, this is it. This is it. This is where I got in, right, with my stop loss just around 1.1657. And well, the markets actually fell shy of my profit targets today by 5 pips. But again, I had closed out a significant portion before the release of the non-farm payroll yesterday, somewhere around here. So it was all in all a very nice and profitable trade. But again, I wanted to use this opportunity to talk about my Discord channel. Like I said, I've created a Discord channel, guys. It's free. Feel free to join. All right. And well, I post all my live trades in this section, and obviously any potential trade ideas or setups that I'm keeping an eye on. All right, I post them as well. Okay, so that's pretty much it. All right, so I just wanted to use this opportunity to talk about that since we already talking about the trades that I took in Eurodollar. All right, now back to the charts. You can see Eurodollar actually gave us very nice and bearish push, or bearish days, as we can see here. But if you pay attention, in the case of Eurodollar, appears as if the euro has been strong because, well, euro dollar did not take off this low that we have in this area. Came very close but did not quite take it off. All right, we just literally retested the return line of this falling channel, and you know, the markets just started reacting back to the upside. Still generally bearish in my own opinion. At least I will expect maybe another push to the downside. All right, if you pay attention, this is the falling channel that I'm talking about that euro dollar was trading in. Okay, earlier today I had you know, taken a short opportunity again around 1.1548. I also dropped that in the Discord, and you can see from there the markets started dropping again to the downside. Okay, but what's happening right now is that this area here is a very significant area of demand right now in euro dollar. As you can see, the markets dipped into that area, okay, and you can see we are getting the bearish reaction. Now what I would like to see when the market opens next week, well, maybe a possible push, a little push to the upside, maybe towards let's say 1.1525 area, all right, which should correspond with probably the dip that I'm anticipating in Dixie. All right, but if that happens, I would like to see the BS coming again for at least one push to the downside, deeper into this particular demand zone area, probably retesting this return line of this channel, and then from here the markets will need to make a decision as to whether we're getting a clear break to the downside, of which, if that happens, upon pullbacks, I'll be looking for supply zones that form in our charts, from where, well, I'll be searching for short opportunities for further continuations to the downside. All right, this is going to be my preferred course of action, but it's very, very possible the markets can very easily, you know, give us even that push to the downside. All right, and then from here, we begin to break this line to the upside. Okay, this is also possible, and you can easily see the markets giving you a retest of higher levels, maybe towards 1600. It's very, very possible. Okay, so yes, while I favor the bears, I would prefer to also let you know that it's very possible that this can happen as well. So keep a very close eye on this. I would like to see the bears come into this market for further continuations to the downside. That is going to be my preferred course of action. Okay, all right, so that's it for euro dollar. Okay, next up is going to be British pounds and US dollar. Now, British pounds, US dollar, well, this pair it's not performing the best, to be completely honest. but it seems to have a very huge potential, okay, to the downside. You can see that, well, this is the 4 hours time frame, and you can see that this is the channel, all right, the falling channel that the market is currently trending in my own opinion, okay. And well, very straightforward. I would like to see the markets give me a push to the upside into this supply zone that we have here in the 4 hours time frame, all right, which is right around where we have this supply zone, okay. I'm gonna expand my chart so you can see. And then from there, I would like to see the BS come into this market. Very easy. Give me another push to retest the return line of this channel that we have sitting right around 12800. Okay, this is gonna be my preferred course of action. Okay, that's what I'm seeing on my charts. Pretty much a move that looks like this that we have in this area. That is what I would like to see in here as well. Okay, that is what I anticipate in this particular currency pair. Now the markets can do whatever it wants, but again, based on the price action that I'm seeing on my charts right now, that is why I am making this particular analysis. You can see, well, this is the trend line, okay, that was holding price, and finally we got that breakout pullback into that trend line to retest it. Massive continuations to the downside, okay, creating, all right, or breaking these levels of structure that we have in this area. So this supply zone was created, and you can see when the market gave us that spike to the upside upon the release of the non-farm payroll data yesterday, we didn't even quite make it into this particular supply zone yet. This could also easily be a liquidity grab level from where the markets can just give us a push to the upside, grab liquidity above here, dip into the supply zone, into this trend line, and from here the bears now massively come into this market. That is going to be my preferred course of action. Again, the markets can easily give us this push, breaking above the supply zone area, and well, before you know it, this can be a change in trend. Very, very possible. But my preferred course of action is going to be for the markets to give me that push to the upside into this particular supply zone area. All right, from where I will expect the BS to start coming in for further continuations to the downside. That's pretty much it for British pounds and US dollar. Next up is going to be Australian dollar, US dollar. Like I told you guys last week, finally, AU has completed, okay, that's a breakout pullback continuation pattern that we had from the, I think it was the daily chart. Yep, I told you guys that this pair is moving in you have a flag formation. Okay, this is the bearish flag formation, and I expect that the bears are coming into this market. The markets gave us a nice push to the downside. Okay, this pair gave us a nice push to the downside. We got a pullback, and from there we finally completed, have taken off this low, all right, of the pullback process. And then, well, from here now, it's more likely that the bears come into these markets for further continuations to the downside. However, again, because of the nature of the price action of this pair, we still don't have that complete green light, okay? Because again, as you can see here, well, we do have this level of structure on our charts, this level of structure, and the markets came very close today, okay? And we also have 0.6400 institutional price level sitting just below. So these are levels to keep an eye on, okay? From where the market is at this point, well, you can see we do have a level of structure here in the intraday that I have mapped out. Markets can easily dip into that area, okay? Let's say 0.6465 area. Anywhere from right around here, the markets can give us another push to the downside towards this level of structure that we have right here. What happens from here or from 6400 is what's going to determine where this market is going to go. Do we get a bounce from here back in here? Then, well, we are in this flat bottom triangle formation from where maybe we can continue with a move of this nature, okay? But again, if we do get a massive push, let's say in here, and then massive breaking below this level of structure, taking out 0.6400 easily, taking out this level of structure as well. Now, the floodgates have been open, and well, upon pullbacks, guys, I'll be looking all over these charts for supply zones that will be forming, all right, for further continuations to the downside. That is going to be my preferred course of action in Australian dollar, US dollar. This is my preferred price action that I would like to see in Australian dollar, US dollar. So let's see what happens as we go into next week. All right, that's it for Australian dollar, US dollar. Next up is going to be New Zealand dollar, US dollar. Not much here. Okay, very similar to the Australian dollar, US dollar pair. To be honest, price is currently moving in a falling channel. Okay, 1 second, guys. All right, we are moving in a falling channel. You can see we do have this supply zone in here that led to the break of this level of structure, and the markets has slowly but surely, started creeping to the upside, okay, towards that return line of the channel. And we also have a supply zone that is sitting just above that return line. So, well, few options here. markets push to the return line and we get that bounce to the downside, or we tap into this particular supply zone area, grab liquidity above this trend line, and then continue pushing to the downside again. This is going to be my preferred course of action in this pair. Okay, but again, I think there are better looking pairs. I don't think this is going to be the pair that will be of my interest as we go into next week. Okay, all right, so let's see how it goes. That's it for New Zealand dollar, US dollar. Next up is going to be US dollar, Swiss francs. Performed to perfection. You can see the markets gave us that bounce, and since then the market has just been trending to the upside. But in terms of price action, what do we have now? Well, we can identify a key level of our resistance on our chart. You can see this area here that's worked at resistance, and finally we muscle through to the upside, creating this demand zone in the process. And you can see now the market is pulling back towards that demand zone area. And what I would like to see right now, obviously, is maybe a little push into this demand zone area. Okay, as we go into next week, I would like to see this markets give me maybe a push into this demand zone area, and then maybe anywhere from right around here, any reversals, maybe around the London markets, I'll be looking for an opportunity to go long, obviously, for further continuations to the upside. Okay, so let's see how it goes. That's pretty much what I would like to see in this currency pair. Okay, now next up is going to be US dollar, Swiss francs. Now this one again performed to perfection pretty much. There was a price action that looked weird. I think it was on Tuesday or Wednesday. All right, the formation of these candles that we had here, it was really off. Okay, anybody who trades US dollar, Canadian dollar can bear me witness, because again, these markets gave us this push, all right, into this demand zone area, and when we got this continuation taking off this high, it was almost like we had green lights to start going long in this pair towards this previous swing high area. But again, you can see the markets just turned around from there, swept, okay, these lows that we have in this area, and that was when the move actually started. So very crazy price action, to be completely honest. But now going into next week, a few areas here, in my own opinion, we do have this area of resistance here. Okay, this area here, markets can easily give us a push to the downside, okay, into this area, and then from here we can easily get that bounce, all right, for further continuations to the upside. If we don't get that deep of a pullback, it's also very, very possible that the markets can, right around current market price, begin to give us that push to the upside. All right, you can see if I take a look into the hourly time frame, you notice that the markets gave us a little hesitation around here before we got that massive break to the upside, taking off this level of structure. So we also can easily get, again, you can see how the markets gave us a little hesitation, push, breaking structure, and we are now deep in that area. So again, market close is the only reason why I'm not looking for long opportunities right now on this pair, because the markets can easily continue to the upside from here. But if, let's say, the market opens and we get any push to the downside, maybe grabbing liquidity below these lows that we have here, all right, anywhere from right around here, I think would be a nice opportunity to start searching for long opportunities for further continuations to the upside. That's it for US dollar, Canadian dollar. Next up is going to be dollar yen. Dollar yen, I'm not gonna waste much of your time. The market really gave us very nice bullish push. Okay, we do have a demand zone in here. Okay, we do have a demand zone in here in the 4 hours time frame. The markets can easily give us a push to the downside into that demand zone, 155.50 institutional price level area, and then from there the markets can easily give us another swing to the upside. But you can also see that we do have this line of interest here. To me, markets can easily bounce from here. Honestly speaking, this pair is just looking bullish. It's not even retracing one bit, okay, as anticipated. Like, you notice that even among the other yen pairs that we have, this is the one that retraced the least. Okay, the other ones really made it into their demand zone areas, and right now they're already turning around, but this pair is hesitating a lot. Okay, so again, I'm still expecting bullish moves in this currency pair as long as we are sitting above this demand zone area that we have here in the 4 hours time frame. Okay, so if the markets can somehow find a way to make it towards 155.50 area, I'm going to be looking for buy opportunities in this particular currency pair. All right, if not, we can also get a bounce off of this line, and any reversals from here, in my own opinion, is most likely also valid for further continuations to the upside. All right, so that's pretty much it for US dollar, Japanese yen. Next up is going to be GJ. Okay, that's gonna be British pounds and Japanese yen. All right, so for British pound, some Japanese yen, this one actually, you can see the markets in the 4 hours time frame again is moving in a rising channel. You can see very nice price action. We do have this particular demand zone in here, okay, that led to the break of this level of structure that we have around here, okay. So the markets give us this nice push in the upside, creating this demand zone in the process, all right. And well, the markets right now, the markets tested this trend line, and we acted as if we were taking off. I actually got food in this one, got in and placed my stops below here, and you can see that we came back again to the downside to grab liquidity further, all right, from these demands, from this below this trend line and deep into this demand zone. And you can see that the bulls again came in, protecting those areas, forming that pin bar in the process, okay. So well, what I would like to see now, obviously I still have a position right now because I got in right around current market price. What I'd like to see now is for these markets to give me a reversal for further continuations to the upside, okay. So that's pretty much it. Again, let's see how it goes, but this is looking textbook for further continuations to the upside. All right, that's pretty much it for British pound, some Japanese yen. Now in the event, let's say the market opens next week and we start to trend to the downside, breaking this trend line even further, making new lows, breaking this demand zone, then you know, that's not gonna be the best look, and maybe upon pullbacks we might easily start seeing you know, this market flush again to the downside. So keep your options open, but again, the best course of action for me will be for price to remain in this 4 hours rising channel for further continuations to the upside. All right, next up is going to be Euro yen. All right, now Euro yen, as you can see, well, we are literally trading inside the demand zone, okay, right now. And well, I'll be keeping a very close eye on this one on when the market opens to see the price action that develops, okay. If we begin to, let's say, push again to the upside in this pair, I'll be looking for opportunities to go long, honestly, for further continuations to the upside, okay. If the market opens and let's say we start pushing again to the downside, or we open below this demand zone, okay, anything of that nature is going to violate this for me. But for right now, the markets are trading inside that demand zone area, and very easily that can easily cause the markets to start giving us that push to the upside, okay. All right, so that's it for Euro yen. Not much. Again, if for those of you in the Discord channel, I'm going to be letting you know if I do take any of these trades that I am calling so far, okay. All right, next up is going to be Australian dollar, Japanese yen. Actually, I don't have anything on this pair. It's not looking the best in my own opinion. Generally bullish, okay, but again, it's not the best, okay. We can draw some form of trend line in there. 1 second, we can probably draw some form of trend line in here. As you can see, maybe the market's respecting that trend line now. You can see, yeah, there's some form of trend line in here. We grab liquidity below again, and you can see we're trading above it, and the markets can continue to the upside, just like in the case of GJ. But I think GJ is a better looking chart, and yeah, this is still looking a little ugly for me right now, so I am going to be skipping it right now. Same with British pounds, Australian dollar. I really don't have anything in this pair right now. Euro pounds, again, in the daily charts, like I told you guys from last week, this market continues to hesitate again, which is the reason why I don't like to trade it from the shorter time frames, okay. Not much movements usually. All right, but as you can see here, well, course of action is very, very simple in Euro pounds. Again, I'm keeping an eye on this demand zone area. All right, you can see I have my alert sitting above that zone, and from right around here, because that will be a retest of this demand zone, all right, that led to the break of this level of structure. In my opinion, that is a high quality trade, and if that happens, I'll be looking for opportunity to go long off of the demand zone from further continuations to the to the upside, okay. All right, so that's it for Euro pounds. Next up is going to be Euro Australian dollar. Man, this market is just sideways consolidation. I would not waste your time trying to analyze what's going on in this pair. Anybody who trades ranges will be making a killing in this pair, but I'm more of a trend trader, so this is the kind of charts that I try to stay away from, okay. All right, so that's it for Euro Australian dollar. Not much, and I wouldn't even call it an analysis right now, okay. I will need to see the markets begin to give me clear directional bias before I start saying anything in Euro Australian dollar. All right, next up is going to be gold. Now, gold, in my own opinion, again, this week is, I don't even know what to say. If we take a look in the daily charts, okay, I am beginning to sense that we might be in for some form of, well, I say, triangular consolidation in this pair. That is what is looking most likely. It's almost looking more like a complex consolidation pattern right now, okay? I'm looking at the possibility of price giving us a move of this nature before giving us a break to either the upside, okay, or let's say a break to the downside, okay? One of these two is what I think is going to happen, because again, it's been a lot of hesitation in this area, and right now I think we have maybe a swing to the upside towards these previous swing highs, but after that I think maybe the market might remain inside this triangular consolidation, okay, before we either break to the upside or to the downside. But that is what is looking most likely right now. You can see the market is respecting this trend line for a little bit now, and we do have, this particular demand zone that we have in this area, all right, and the markets earlier today tapped in, all right, same with this trend line, and you can see from there the bulls are almost coming back into this market. So I would think right now, from the price action that I'm seeing on my charts, okay, the bulls are most likely going to come into this market and try to push this thing again to the upside, okay? That is what is looking most likely. But again, this is still forming, all right? It's not yet confirmed. Very easily the markets can give us a push to the downside when we begin to take off this demand zone, all right, that led to the break of this, will I say, supply zone, okay? We begin to take off this low. Then that will be an indication that the bears are coming into this market, and from there, any push to the upside into this area, I'll be looking for supply zones that led to the break of this level of structure for further continuations to the downside, okay? But again, like I said, my preferred course of action will be to see the bulls come into these markets early next week to start pushing these markets again to the upside, okay? That is my preferred course of action. All right, that's it for gold. Not much. Again, if this analysis updates, I will be dropping it obviously on my Discord channel, like I have told you guys. So guys, for those of you who are not yet in my Discord channel, look at the description and the pinned comment. You're going to see the link to my Discord channel, and feel free to join. All right, that's it for gold. Next up is going to be silver. Silver, in my own opinion, is looking very nice. To be completely honest, it's really looking nice. As you can see here, in this case, silver has already retested that high area, and you can see we've gotten that deep. Okay, we've gotten that deep. I would have honestly been in a long position right now if not for the fact that this is happening very close to the market's close. So that's the only reason why I am not in a position right now, to be completely honest with you, because again, I like the price action that I'm seeing here in silver. If you go into the 4 hours time frame, you'll notice that again, this is the demand zone that led to the break of this level of structure that we have here. You can see this level of structure that we have here. This is the origin of this move to the upside. Markets gave us a dip in here, all right. And from right around here, you can see that we also have a counter trend line. You can see 1, 2, and right here in that demand zone area, that is where the markets literally bounced from, all right? And we're already getting some form of reversal for possible continuations to the upside. So this, in my own opinion, is really textbook, okay? It's really looking nice, and like I said, market's closing, so I don't want a situation whereby I'm going to get in on this trade right now and the market opens below this demand zone area. Okay, anything can happen over the weekend, so personally I prefer to play it safe. All right, so that's it for silver. Next up is going to be Bitcoin. To be completely honest with you, I'm not going to waste your time. Your guess is as good as mine. I can only say that we do have a trend line in here. We do have a demand zone in here. The market pierced that trend line, but now it's as if the bulls are coming back and we are now trading just above that trend line area. I would say possibly wait for some reversals, maybe in the 4 hours time frame. And if we do get that, maybe look for opportunities to go long. But personally, I am not trading this Bitcoin at this point, okay? These are good levels to start adding if you're looking at it from an investment perspective. These are good levels to add to the markets. And also maybe in the event that, let's say, the market gives you this push to the downside into this area, these are also going to be good levels to add again for possible continuations to the upside. All right, so that's pretty much it for my analysis for the week, guys. Hopefully you gained some value from this video. If you did, do not forget to like and subscribe and turn on notifications as well. All right, thanks, and I will see you in the midweek forex forecast on Wednesday. Cheers and have a nice weekend. Bye bye.